So now let's start to work on the next item, which would be the dashboard itself. So basically the invoicing system is already done. You already have everything. However, let's fine tune it a bit more there, because there's still a lot more we can do, of course. So what we want to do now is, instead of just adjusting here everything for the information and selecting the customer here, we can put it in a dashboard separately. We put it in a new tab, and in this tab you have like all the control settings, so we can start to select, we can put in all the information that is necessary. So let's make a new tab. So I'm going to select this one, and now I'll just copy this. Oh, sorry, that's not the right thing. Right click, not view code, but move and copy. Move to the end, create copy, confirm. Alright. Now we call this the dashboard tab. So what will be in the dashboard tab? Well, basically, number one, what we want to do is we want to control the company data that we have, company data, and more specifically the branch data. So if you have multiple branches, this is suitable for you. Number 3, or the second part, or number 3, whatever it calls, because basically these two are together. But next, what we want to do is we want to make sure that the drop down for the customer is here as well, here on the dashboard. And the number 4, if you have a bank account, and maybe you don't have one bank account, but you have multiple bank account drop down. Alright, and this we will do all from our basically from our dashboard itself. Alright, let's look what we need. We don't need much, however we will need some basics. Let's look here at the invoice, and what we need here, this is our company here. Company name, street, phone number, email. Alright, let's go for that. Let's make that immediately. So in this case I will remove the first name, because we don't need the first name here. We will assume that this is just the company. So this is our company. So I will call it comp ID 1, 2, and 3. Alright. However, here the company name is very consistent. So I just assume we will just maintain the same company name. And if you have other company name, you can use it. But let's say this is a baking equipment shop. Alright. We already have our concatenation here, so that's nice. We don't need to do much with that. Email we have, phone number we have, state. Okay, so we can call this street bake street 250, and this would be Baker's Field Square 100. All right, and this one will be, one is in New York and the other one will be in Atlanta, Georgia. Alright, so this will be in Georgia. Alright, this one is, that's in New York. New York. Phone number, if we just maintain this, and this will be, we assume company will be always the same company name, same email or same contact, but you can change it, of course. So info baker.com. Alright, and this one, we just assume same, or info2 at baker.com. This is the baking equipment, so we got everything here ready. So this is our details here. Alright, so we've got this. So we have 2 branches here. If you have more, fine, you can put them in here. Alright. So we have basically the company data, we have control, we've already done that. Alright, next. What we want to do is as well the multiple bank accounts. We're going to do that one as well. So we're going to call here the payment details or bank details. Bank details. And then we have, let's say 3 banks. So we have one is bank, what is that, the bank details. What we need the account holder. Account name probably, and bank account, well, we can call it account number. Alright, so we have name here, that will be just baking equipment shop, assuming that it's all the same. However, here we have different banks. So ABC 123 000, and then we have here another one is 100 102, 100, and then we have another one is 1, whatever. I'm just selecting one. Some things, AB. Alright, let's put them all neatly to the right. So, there we are. Alright, so we have now this. That's done. And we have a drop down for the customer. We have to move that as well here. So, what we will do here is we will now start to work on the dashboard design. Oh, wait, let's get these. Because basically what we did now so far is only the table design. And we need to have the dashboard design as well. However, I'm just making it quickly here. And alright, we cut this. I think we can cut all of these. I'm going to cut this and we'll move this down here. Alright, because then here this is our dashboard. Yes, so here our dashboard will be select branch, select branch, and then we have here the other option will be select payment for bank account number, and finally number 3 is select customer. Alright, so once we have this, this is a special dashboard. It's very simple right now. I'm not spending too much time here on it. However, you can make it as nice as possible. Let's merge them all together. I'll put this in the center. Beautiful. Alright, that looks nice. And let's highlight these. And there we are. So maybe I'll just give this a grayish color so to make it slightly different. Alright, here we have a drop down based on the information here. And then after that we also drop down for this. So let's get the first one, which is the branch. So equals, oh sorry, not equals. Our drop down here will be select data. We will select here the data validation and we use the list. Alright, select the source here. Now I'm going to select this and what is our source? This is our source. Here we are. Enter. Confirm. So what happened here? I am missing something. A single reference. Am I correct? Are we missing something here? What am I missing? The source must be a delimited list or a single row. Let me double check what are we missing, or maybe do we have anything in here? I realize we copied this. So the reason why probably this is happening is we are copying stuff, and maybe this one here is an issue. This is the one we need. Well, let's double check here. Let's do our data validation. Do we have everything? Alright, there's none. Fair enough. So the reason why probably is because of the formula here. So we do again this. Let's select our, oh no, we need to go back this, sorry. Yes, it just caught me slightly off guard. So what we need is the following. Alright, we're going to select here. This is where we want to put the info. And then what we want to do is the list. And of course I realize we need this here. Or in this case we need the branch name. So we'll say here the street. Sorry, this is my mistake. Select this. This is fine. Alright, so now we can select here the branch, which is of course the name. I'm trying to do everything because I'm in my mind already at the Vlookup. So don't use that yet because we're going to use the Vlookup later on. But don't do what I just did. Don't select them all. We select this here. Alright. And here, the same story. What we're going to do is here the bank account. We can select here bank account number. Maybe we should have here a proper bank account name. We can just do this. But sometimes you have like the bank where you are located. Maybe you're in JP Morgan, whatever. You have American Bank, etc., etc. Doesn't matter. Alright. Confirm. Now we select here. We can select now the bank account number. Beautiful. We have our customer or select customer list already here. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut this, and as we cut this, we're going to move this here. Alright, so once we select number 2, that should be Jane Doe. Do we have Jane, or sorry, Jane Reyes right now? There we are. Alright, so we're almost done now. So basically this is the part, and what we need to do now is just to match up. Oh, and what I want to do here at least, put the tables back in, or the the borderline. We got that. Now what we will do is we will make this is a Vlookup. And the Vlookup will be matching here. So the first thing here is, well, this basically does not need any Vlookup if you have already all the data here, and this is hard coded or it's the same company. But maybe if it's not, you will need Vlookup. Alright, so we have this here, Vlookup. And what is the Vlookup value or the lookup value? Well, simple. This will be our lookup value. And then, comma, we're going to select here the rows. And once we did that, we do again, comma, say column index number. So what do we want? Well, we want the company name. If I'm not mistaken, remember, now our company, we don't select the company ID, we select the company street. Basically, you can also select the company ID if you remember what the street name is. Alright? But we can do it, we just do it from this now. So this is the first column, this is second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, number 7. Alright, so the seventh version, the seventh column. Alright, and then we need false for exact match. Enter. Alright, so we are now baking equipment. And what I want to do is here, let's do this. And that's my mouse. Sorry. What we want to do here is the following. This will be, let's say, baking equipment. Let's say this is baking supplier. So we can test the value. Alright, let's go back here. You can see now we selected number 2 and this is the baking supplier. Am I correct here? Is this number 2? The branch, this is the second branch, that's correct. So Bake Street is the first branch and that is the baking equipment shop. Alright, so now we have this. The next one will be the street name. So how do we do the street name? Well, same story. What we can do here is just simply this. We can copy this, yes. We put it in here, then we get the baking equipment. However, in this case, remember the first one in the table here, the street was the street name. So basically here, the first column number 1, here we are. Alright, so if you have another longer street name, maybe extension, building ABC, you can put it in here. If not, just delete this, you can ignore this for now. Then I'm going to move on here, or what we can do here is, I also realized we can also do the following here, that we have concatenated. You can get the entire address in case you want this. And I think that will be also quite nice. We can just get the address itself. So what I'm going to do here is the Vlookup. Let's look what's the value. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Number 8. Let's go back here. Number 8. See if this works. If it doesn't work, I think that we didn't select this cell. Number 8. Alright. We selected the cell here. And as you can see here, this might be slightly too long. And then you can, there's 2 options. We can move this down. And then we say text wrap. There we are. So that looks nice again. Phone number. What is the phone number here? This was, let's go back here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Phone number is 5. And this one is number 6. So let's start here. Go back here. Phone number. We copy exactly the same Vlookup. No, escape that. Change this here to this formula and put in number 5. Enter. That will be phone number. And then your email was number 6. Remember that? The 6th column of the table. And there we are. So we can put this phone number, maybe more appropriate, put it here. Alright, so once we've got this, we have here everything. We can even adjust to the due date here because we have the due date here adjusted, but maybe we want to put that here. As I realized, we can do here due date. Due date, and the invoice date by default is today, but we can also do that invoice date and due date. So let's copy this design. Do it in here. You can see the design takes quite a lot of time, and because you want to fine tune and make it as easy as possible, because once you start to see this, it becomes easier and easier, and you also understand the connection here. So date here will be equal this, enter, and this will be equal that, and if you want to do that, so we say here equal today, enter, and this one today plus whatever, let's say 14. No, sorry, function, make sure it's a function, today plus 14. Alright, want to make this nice? Well, you know how. You can see the dates, more formats. Let's get the suitable format here for the date. Here we are. Okay, confirm. There we are. What do we have more? So we can still adjust here the invoice number. So do we want to adjust this? We can do number 6. Say invoice number. Then here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, so we've got this almost done. Oh, except for this, I want to copy only the numbering equal this. So what are we still missing here? Well, we have this. Well, the bank details need to be matched. Alright, so we can say here company name. By default, the company name should be the Vlookup, and it should be this here. Alright, baking equipment, that is probably the account holder, if I'm not mistaken, but if you have a different account holder, it can be as well. So you can adjust this to whatever you want. Yeah, so maybe this one is a personal name, let's say this is from Jane, or what is it, whatever the company is. Nick though, I'm just making up stuff, alright. It'll be maybe the personal bank account, there we are. So what we can do here is a Vlookup, open parentheses. Then here, what we need to do is we need to use the bank account number. Alright, so we have here the bank account number. You can select here also the bank account holder, but imagine we have the bank account number. Alright, so we have this, and then this is a slightly tricky one. We have this one here. We select this, and then what we need to do is this, then we say the column index number. So what is the column index number? Well, the column index number will be number 1. So we have number 1, and then we say false. And that's it. There we are. So now it gives you an error. And the reason why it gives you an error is because you have to put in a trick here. Slightly complicated. Should we, I'll cover that right away. Just a minute. I'll just make this one first before we continue on that one. However, you could basically, to simplify it, you would be able to put the Vlookup just on the bank account name or the bank account details here. However, if they are identical, it might be confusing compared to this. However, it does not matter. We will work on this right away. So this one is equal that. There we are. So now we have this part. All right. So how can we solve this issue? Because this is an issue here that we covered, that I have covered in another video, but I will show you right away how to do it. Because here's an issue here. Vlookup is this, and we have this here as well. So how can we adjust this? So let me show you exactly how to do this. To solve this error, we need to do the following. What we need to do is, and let me explain why we have this error. Why do we get this error exactly? It's very simple. Vlookup is allowed to search values if the first value of the Vlookup is the required matching value. And then, so this should be the first one with the matching value, and from there on, anything to the right, it can read. In our case, the matching value is on the right, and it needs to go to the left. And now Vlookup has an issue. It says, sorry, I cannot read this. I have a problem. So what we need to do is we need to shift these two together. So what I mean is this. Basically, I want this account to be here, and I want this to be there. All right? However, you might say, well, that's fine, but I cannot do that in Excel by copy-pasting if my dashboard would be like protected. You're right. This is why we have wonderful formulas where we can use this. So let me show you exactly how to do that. So we're going to use this, and you get here again a very nice bonus trick to learn. We use the choose function. So we say here the following. We say, let's say we want the second column shown first here. So it's number 2, comma, and then we select these values here, comma, and then we select the next value here, and then enter. you can see now the second column is being shown as first, or has been repositioned to the first column. So this is nice. However, you say, well, do I need to have two of those? No, you don't need. We're going to use a trick with an array combining it all together. So how to do that? So we do again, choose, open parentheses, and then here we do curly brackets. Alright, so ignore this, yes, that's it, and let me click on this, here, curly brackets. And then we say the column number 2 must be shown first, because that's the first number you display, and column number 1 will be shown second. Alright, then now we need to first select column number 1, that's this, and then we select column number 2. Once we have that, we close this, there you are. So now we reposition this correctly, and if we would do this with Vlookup now, it will work. So how can we use this there? Well, let me show you. Let's go back here to Invoice. We click here, and then we're going to open up this here. So what we do is the following. We have this here. Yes, and we're going to make sure you copy the template of dashboard in here. Alright, so, or sorry, we're going to use the value of dashboard in here. So that would mean choose, open parentheses, then you have the dashboard, and then here we will get the value. So what we can just do, remove this maybe, and just move here to dashboard. And then we will select here first, what would be the first value. Well, probably here, we don't need any dashboard. But later on we will be needing the dashboard. Why? Because we need first, we say here first number 2, number 1, and then comma. Then here will be dashboard, because that's the tab where you want to find it. And you can type it, or you can just select this, basically, makes more sense. Select this, comma, select this one, close, and now we have a longer formula. So let's look here at the formula. What happened now is we have here the choose, and then understand that this choose is now, the table array is now the choose table array, which is stored in the memory of Excel. So Excel understands this restructuring. Confirm and done. Alright, so now you say, wait a minute, why I get the bank account number and not the name? Well, we put this on number 1, right? Column number 1, well, because of the new restructuring, the bank account number is the first column. So the second column will be the bank account name. And there you are. Open it up, or we make it slightly more bigger, and there you are. And now we have everything really shown. So this is really how we can do this, and you can play around with this even more. We can go unlimited, and I think we've been doing it for quite a while now. But you can move on. And if we delete this, you will see nothing happens here. This maintains. So let's try something else. Let's select here, not this one, but the second one, which should be from Nick though. And then we select here the Bake Street. What do we have here? Bake Street, let's do Bakersfield Square. And then we have the bank account number we do customer number 1. So it will be John. And this, we can say today, let's say today plus 10. Alright. This is all adjusted. And this here, we'll say today, well, in this case, maybe if you want this, you can probably do here, maybe more better, is this plus 10. So it will always be consistent here. Let's look at our invoice. Our invoice has been adjusted, this plus 10, that's correct. Nick Doe is the company name and the bank account number. You have John Doe as the customer, and here is the supplier, or our company details. Bakersfield Square, baking supplier. And there you are. So now we have a far more advanced invoicing system as planned. So if you like tips and tricks like these and videos like these about Excel, subscribe to my channel. And if you have any questions regarding to this, because this is quite advanced stuff, just let me know, post them below in the comments, and I will make sure I'll get back to you.